Fine. Then whoever has the turn, you can start reading.
Should I summarize first?
Yes.
Okay, so yesterday we talked about initiation and specifically dan or donation, and we talked about how the 6 types of the 6 aspects of donation according to the scripture and how it must be followed to a proper place and proper time by a proper person according to the scriptures. And then we talked about how this donation is the mantra, and we talked about the qualifications of a mantra and how and the qualifications of someone who wants to enter this path, and how someone born into a Hindu family has earned that right, and how the difference between a Vaishnav and a Vedic. Sorry, and I think we ended at Daya Vastu. So should I start reading?
Yes.
Daya Vastu, bestowable object. In initiation, Guru bestows mantra upon his disciple. The name of the favorite god comprised in initiation formula is called mantra bhag, i.e. the portion of mantra, while the remaining portion is called updesh, i.e. instruction. The initiation mantra plays an extremely important part in the seeker's sadhana. It helps the seeker to remember his favorite god, to perform the duties of the sampradaya, and to know oneself. Just as a map becomes very useful to a pilgrim of an unknown path, similarly, for a seeker, initiation mantra serves the purpose of a map. As the map guides the pilgrim to find his destination, the way to reach up to his destination, and the distance he has covered up to a particular time. Similarly, the initiation mantra provides guidelines to the seeker to find out his goal, the means by which he can achieve his goal, and 6, how far he has advanced on his way to a final goal. The disciple who does not possess the knowledge of the initiation mantra and who does not recite it goes astray, as a pilgrim without a map is misled to wander here and there at random. So the disciple must have the knowledge and daily remembrance of the initiation mantra. So to summarize, it talks about the bestowable object or the donation, which is the mantra. And so the guru bestows the mantra upon his disciple, and it's a map to pilgrimage. But if the pilgrim does not possess the proper knowledge of the initiation mantra, does not recite it, and doesn't do it every day, then he'll go astray. And even though he has a map, he'll be lost.
The main thing is, as we understood yesterday, that we need to check the qualities of the Guru before getting initiated by him. And Mahaprabhuji has explained the qualities which we must check in the Guru from whom we are getting initiated. Same way, Guru also has to check the student. The person who is coming near him for taking initiation, he must check the qualities of that person also. Because Mantradan is not a small thing. As I told yesterday that Mahaprabhuji is the Guru, Sri Krishna is our goal, to him we have to reach. And whenever a descendant of Sri Mahaprabhuji is providing initiation to any of his disciples, or he is providing mantradan to any of his disciples, it is not the mantradan which is bestowed by a descendant of Sri Mahaprabhuji, but that mantradan is given by Mahaprabhuji himself. So, whenever a descendant of Sri Mahaprabhuji is providing mantradan, he has to be serious that whatever I am doing it on the behalf of Sri Mahaprabhuji, and the initiation is done by Sri Mahaprabhuji and not by any XYZ person. So, when, for example, if I am providing initiation, then I need to have the feeling in my heart that the mantradan which I am giving to someone is not the mantra which is mine, is not the initiation which is mine, and it is not the sampradaya of mine, but everything belongs to Sri Mahaprabhuji. And whatever I am doing is done by Mahaprabhuji himself. I am just a mediator in between, but the person has to accept Sri Mahaprabhuji as his Guru and Shri Krishna as his Ishtadev or his life goal. So we cannot make a joke of the mantradan. Means those are not the words which we are speaking out. Those are not the letters which I can speak in someone's ears and anyone can hear it and anyone can speak it out. It is not so. So the thing is that whenever a mantra is given, we have to be clear about our goal. We have to be clear about what we want to do in our life, and we have to be very serious about getting initiated. As parents, when parents get their children admitted into any of the school, they are very clear in their mind that we have to send him to the school regularly for study. If I am getting admitted and after that, after getting admission, if I am not attending the school regularly, if I am not taking care of the studies, if I am not listening to my teachers, then the school won't keep you admitted into the school for a longer time. They will give you the leaving certificate and you have to be out of the school if you are not studying there with the discipline expected by the school. So same way, initiation is a method of admission into the sampradaya, and as we go to the school regularly, we learn with our teachers regularly, we hear them all the time, we have to be disciplined. Same way, and in the childhood, the parents need to take care that if their children are going to the school regularly or not, or if they are taking care of their studies or not. So during childhood, when a child is not capable and disciplined on his own, parents take care. Same way, when a child from a Vaishnava family gets initiated, it is a responsibility of his parents, and especially during the Sharana Diksha, because mostly the children who are born in a Vaishnava family, they get initiated with the Ashtakshar mantra in their childhood itself. So at that time, it is a responsibility of his parents to take care that their children are, they give the proper sanskar for being a good Vaishnava to their children. But the second initiation of the Brahma Sambandha Diksha, it cannot be taken on the responsibility of the parents, but the child himself or the person himself must be responsible for the same. So when we get mature, when a person belonging to the Vaishnava family, when he gets serious about what he wants to do, only then he can be given Brahma Sambandha Diksha, not on the responsibility of the parents. But Sharana Diksha can be given on the name of, on the responsibility of the parents. Same is the method we have in Christianity also. They have two methods for baptism. You people might be aware of that. So during childhood, when a child is baptized, the parents take the pledge in front of the priest in the church that they will make their child a good Christian. They will give him all the parents take all the responsibility of providing the knowledge about Christianity to the child. And the second baptism is given when the child becomes mature and he understands everything on his own. So same way, Sharana Diksha can be given on the responsibility of the parents, but we need to check the qualities that if the person who is coming for getting initiated, they are accepting Sri Krishna as their Ishtadev, they are not doing any Anyashraya, they are following the words of Sri Mahaprabhuji or not. Only then a guru must provide the mantradan or the initiation to any of the person. Not just by being a member of a Vaishnava family, a person cannot become eligible for being a Vaishnava. Any question? Fine, you can continue.
Secrecy of the mantra. According to the rule of scriptures, it is necessary to maintain the secrecy of the mantra. Hence, the uninitiated should not be allowed to have the knowledge of the initiation mantra. For this reason, uttering initiation mantra openly in public, printing and writing and taping and instruments like audio, video recorders, etc., are forbidden. Such rules are to be observed in the sampradaya with a view to maintain the significance, the dignity, and the sanctity of mantra. Such kinds are etiquettes are followed in our social life also. There are certain special rules about singing the national anthem. The above mentioned rules regarding the pronouncement of initiation mantra can be understood in that context. So it's saying, it's talking about how those who haven't been initiated by the Guru shouldn't have the knowledge, because it's to maintain the dignity, because if anyone can get it without having the proper knowledge or the proper initiation by a proper Guru, then it loses its value and its place in the path.
The secrecy of the mantra must be taken care of. This rule is not for Ashtakshar mantra, but for Brahma Sambandha mantra. The Ashtakshar mantra, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Sri Mahaprabhuji says that Sabhayam api kurvita, means among in front of thousands of people also, speak out the name of Shri Krishna and accept him as your master and you are a slave. So this is not the rule which is applicable on Ashtakshar mantra. We can speak it out anytime in front of anyone and all the time. Sri Mahaprabhuji says that all the time we must go on repeating this mantra, but because in that we just accept that Shri Krishna is my savior, and we must not be ashamed of accepting this in front of anyone. We must accept our faith. So the Ashtakshar mantra is just a revelation of our faith, but the Brahma Sambandha mantra cannot be spoken in front of anyone, not even in front of the person who hasn't got initiated yet, and not even in front of others. It is just a secret mantra which we can just speak, and the dignity must be maintained, as we cannot speak Brahma Sambandha mantra all the time. We must speak it out only in front of Bhagavan, Shri Krishna. When we do the Tulsi Samarpan, only at that time we can speak the Brahma Sambandha mantra in front of Shri Thakurji and nowhere else, and not in front of anyone, because we must maintain the secrecy of the mantra. We are revealing some time of emotion from our heart towards Bhagavan. We are speaking the feelings which we have in our heart, and therefore if we are revealing everything in front of anyone, then we cannot maintain the dignity of that. As the example of national anthem and national song is given here, that whenever we have to speak the national song or whenever we listen to the national anthem, we have to stand in a proper position, because we are respecting our nation during that time. So it is not the song which we can listen for our enjoyment and for our party or something like that. So we have to maintain the dignity of the nation while speaking the national anthem and national song. Same way, the Brahmasavan mantra, we have to maintain the secrecy of the mantra, as that mantra conveys the feeling of a Jivatma towards Bhagavan. We are speaking out our feeling to Bhagavan. Therefore, it cannot be revealed in front of the people who are not able to understand that emotion. So it is just a personal sharing between us and Bhagavan. And therefore, we have to maintain the secrecy. It cannot be spoken in front of the person who hasn't initiated yet. And it has to be spoken when we are in the Pavitra Avastha, means aparas in our language, and only when we are doing Tulsi Samarpan in front of Bhagavan. And the jap of as we do the japamala of Ashtakshar mantra, same way the japamala of Brahmasavan mantra has to be done by the person who has got initiated with the Brahma Sabandha Diksha. And we have to speak it has a method, and even that can be done when we are in aparas only, not all the time. So the jap of Brahma Sabandha mantra and during the Tulsi Samarpan, not anywhere else on any other time we speak this mantra in front of him.
I have a question.
Yes.
So, is it possible for you to do the Brahmasabandh, Seva of Thakurji without the Brahmasabandh, without having initiated into the Brahmasabandh?
Only if we are doing it under guidance of our elders. If a person has not got the Brahma Sabandha Diksha, then you can perform the seva, but only under the guidance of your parents or your grandparents who are initiated with the Brahma Sabandha Diksha, not independently. For independent seva, we need to have Brahma Sabandha Diksha. It is different during emergencies. For example, your parents are not present and you have to perform all the seva for 2-3 days. That's the different thing. But as a person, if you have to perform seva independently, then you need to have Brahma Sabandha Diksha.
Okay.
Any other question?
Raja, I want to ask you something. So we know there are two mantras in our sampradaya, Ashtakshar mantra and Panchakshar mantra. So this mantra was stated somewhere in our Shastra that Mahaprabhuji derived that mantra from Shastra anywhere, or that was written or mentioned somewhere in the Shastra, or that was like Mahaprabhuji's own
Historically, we don't find the reference of providing initiation in these two stages by Mahaprabhuji or Gosaiji. As we find in the story of Chauriyasi Vaishnavarta and Dosabhavan Vaishnavarta, there it is just mentioned that Mahaprabhuji got the person Nivedit, he gave the Nivedan Diksha, or he gave the Nama Diksha, he gave the Mantra Diksha. So in exact words, we don't find that if Mahaprabhuji gave the Ashtakshar Diksha first and then Atma Nivedan Diksha, or he gave both the initiation all together. We don't find the reference exactly. But the Brahmasabandha mantra is given by Bhagavan himself to Sri Mahaprabhuji on the midnight of Pavitra Ekadashi. The day which we celebrate as the birthday of Pushti Bhakti Sampradaya. So Brahmasabandha Diksha is given by mantra is given by Bhagavan himself, and in the Brahmasabandha mantra we have Ashtakshar mantra also. So it is quite possible that later on, when Mahaprabhuji or the Acharyas would have found that the person who are not able to perform seva, they must be given only the Ashtakshar mantra and not the Brahmasabandha Diksha. So they would have sorted out the Ashtakshar mantra from the Nivedan Diksha mantra and would have given that alone. But in the Brahmasabandha Diksha, we have Ashtakshar mantra also. When we start speaking the Atma Nivedan mantra, first of all we have Ashtakshar mantra, and after that we speak out the Gadya mantra. But for now, the method of initiation all over the Pushti Bhakti Sampradaya is of providing Ashtakshar mantra first of all, and after maturity, we provide Gadya mantra if you are capable of performing seva. And if not, then you can remain a Vaishnava with Ashtakshar mantra Diksha only.
Okay, so then, so based on what you have said, so Mahaprabhuji started initiating the devotees in the sampradaya, whether it is a Saran Diksha or Brahmsaban Diksha, only after Thakurji has given this mantra to him, right?
Yes, sure.
Okay.
Only the Damodar Das Harsani was accompanying Mahaprabhuji before that incident, and during when Bhagavan spoke with Mahaprabhuji at that time, Damodar Das was present with Mahaprabhuji. But most probably Mahaprabhuji wouldn't have provided any initiation to Damodar Das, because when Bhagavan went after providing this mantra and having a talk with Mahaprabhuji, Shri Mahaprabhuji asked Damodar Das if he heard anything. So Damodar Das replied that I heard, but I was not able to understand, as you are my Guru and you have to explain me what Bhagavan said. So Mahaprabhuji explained him, and after that Mahaprabhuji said that Damla yeh marg tere liye prakat kiya. So at that time Mahaprabhuji initiated Damodar Das Harsani as his first disciple. So he was accompanying Sri Mahaprabhuji with some insight of accepting him as his Guru, but Mahaprabhuji hadn't provided any initiation mantra. And all the others were initiated after that incident only.
Ji Raja.
But the very clear, the most important thing about the initiation is that Guru and Shishya, the disciple and the initiator, both of them have to be very clear about the thing that this is the Diksha of Sri Mahaprabhuji and this Diksha is only for Krishna. For no other purpose it can be taken. And with no other mindset it can be taken. The only thing about is that the Guru and the bestower of this mantra is not the descendant of Sri Mahaprabhuji but Mahaprabhuji himself, and Mahaprabhuji is initiating the person into the sampradaya only for Krishna and for no other purpose. So the disciple has to be serious about this, and same way the descendant of Sri Mahaprabhuji who is providing the mantra dan, he too has to be very clear about it.
Yes, Raja, but we see that, like in my own case also, like I was initiated with the Brahmsaban Diksha when I was a child, right? So I mean, at that time I did not have any understanding, and we see that in many Vaishnava families they get initiated with the Brahmsaban Diksha. At that time they don't have any knowledge. So but after taking the Brahmsaban Diksha or Sharan Diksha, if person takes this Diksha unknowingly and doesn't follow any protocols of the Diksha for a certain period of the time in their life, and after they get the understanding, and when there is if they get the satsang, and when they start to understand the true meaning of the Brahmasaban Diksha or Swarana Diksha, and then they start following the protocols of the Diksha, then what happens? Like, for that period of time where they did not follow any protocols of the Diksha, what happens? Still that Diksha is considered, the good or valid?
Only if in future he starts following the protocols. But yeah, it is 100% a mistake from the side of Guru also and from the family of disciple also. Because it is quite possible that the person doesn't become a Vaishnava in future. It is most quite possible. You are a good Vaishnava fortunately, but we cannot say this about everyone. So if the person is not following the protocols of the Diksha, then it is after all the ignorance towards the Sampradaya, it is disrespect for Sri Mahaprabhuji, disrespect for Bhagavan also. because as basically Bhagavan is the bestower of this mantra to Mahaprabhuji also, and Mahaprabhuji initiated everyone after the orders he received from Bhagavan only. So basically this is the mantra which is provided to us by Bhagavan himself, and on the day of Pavitra Dwadashi we accept Bhagavan as our first Guru. So the thing is that when we are not taking seriously the initiation mantra, the purpose of the initiation and the protocols of the initiation mantra, then we are disrespecting Sri Mahaprabhuji and Bhagavan. It is not good. It is not valid at all if we are not following the protocols. If I share my own example, once I was visiting some place and I saw a lady who was standing in front of me in a line, and she was wearing kanthi in her neck. So I asked her that if you are a Vaishnava or not. She said that, yeah, I have Brahmasambandha Diksha. I asked her curiously that I am also a Vaishnava. Do you perform seva at your place? She said that no, my in-laws forced me to take a Brahmasambandha Diksha as they were not taking water and food from my hand till the date I don't get initiated with Brahmasambandha Diksha. So I also got Brahmasambandha Diksha, but I believe in all the gods. They are all respectable and worshipable for me. So the thing is that Guru is not serious about whom he is initiating. Families are also not very serious about this. If you are so disciplined towards the sampradaya that you don't take food and water from the hand of a non-Vaishnava, then why you got such a person in your family? It is not the responsibility of that person to be a Vaishnava. It was your responsibility to get a Vaishnava in your house. So the thing is that Vaishnava families are also not very serious about this. They don't even understand the purpose, and they feel that we must have kanthi in our neck. That's all which we have to do is. Even if they are worshipping Ganpati and Shiva and everyone, we need to have kanthi in our neck. Same is the condition of descendants of Sri Mahaprabhuji also. They are also doing Anyashray. They are also going for the Navratri and for doing the puja of Ganpati and Durga and Shiv, even to the Dargah of the Muslims. So when the people who are sitting on the post of the Guru, if they are not serious, how can we the disciples be? And the Gurus also nowadays are having the feeling that we have to initiate lots of people into Pushti Sampradaya, and we need to get everyone initiated, and each and everyone must be Vaishnava and so and so. Just before some days I saw that a descendant of Sri Mahaprabhuji initiated 250 people into with the Brahmasambandha Diksha all together. So I felt that would he be able to teach all those 250 people about the initiation mantra and the protocols which the person has to follow after getting initiated? Will he be able to teach all them all together? And would he be able to check those person that if the families of those person are a good Vaishnava or not, if they are performing seva at their house or not? Because Brahmasambandha Mantra Diksha is taken only for performing seva and not for any other purpose. As we find in the stories of Sri Mahaprabhuji, that when his disciples asked Mahaprabhuji that can you initiate our families also, at that time Mahaprabhuji said that I am not finding your families to be Daivi Jeev. Your wife is not a Daivi Jeev, your children are not a Daivi Jeev, so I won't provide initiation mantra to them. So only a single person from the house is Vaishnava, not their family, because they are not the people who are interested in Krishna, they are not the people who want to worship Krishna. Then why you have to provide the initiation to them? And even after providing the initiation mantra, Mahaprabhuji was very serious about what his disciples were doing. As we find in the story that at the night time, when the disciples who were accompanying Sri Mahaprabhuji, Mahaprabhuji used to go to check that what they are doing at night. If they are just having gossips with each other, or if they are concentrating on Krishna. So Mahaprabhuji used to take a round at night and used to check his disciples at what they are doing. So the thing is, being a guru, it is your responsibility to take care of the shishya. If you are initiating them into the sampradaya, then it is your responsibility to teach them all the responsibilities which they have to follow after being initiated, and need to be in regular contact with the person whom he has initiated, so that he can take care of the problems faced by the disciple and to check if he is following the responsibilities and duties of being a Pushtimargiya Vaishnava properly or not. So even the Guru must be serious about this, and even the disciple must be very serious about this, because nor I am a Guru and nor you are a disciple. Whatever we are attached to is to Sri Krishna and Sri Mahaprabhu ji himself. Families also must be serious about that. The person who is getting initiated, even he must be serious about that, and the Guru who is providing the Diksha, he must be the most serious one for doing so.
Yes, Raja, you are right. Nowadays we see all this, but we are so fortunate that we get to understand the importance of the Diksha, because like nowadays Saran Diksha is considered like Altu Faltu Diksha kind of, like nobody is giving the importance of the Saran Diksha. They just think that Brahmasaban, only if you are initiated with the Brahmasaban Diksha, then only you will be considered as a Pushtimargiya. But I think very few Vaishnavas knows that the Saran Diksha is, just by taking the Saran Diksha you can be a Pushtimargiya Vaishnava. And I think we get to understand by listening Pujya Sarad Baba's pravachans and by attending their classes. We are very fortunate about that.
The thing is that everyone must be serious about this. We are not doing a joke, and we are not following how serious the parents are when they get their children admitted to the school. They give that the priority that we have to take care of the studies of our children. Same way, when a mature person, if I am getting admitted into the college or a university for study purpose, then even I have to be serious about my studies. You are not doing a joke. You are not making fun of the university. You cannot make the fun of the process you got admitted with for studying. So same has to be the mindset about Sampradaya also. It has to be taken as a study purpose. It has to be taken as a schooling and like a university college only. We have to be very serious about the same. This subject is continuing, and we can understand more in the next chapter also, when we will concentrate upon the two methods of initiation of Sharana Diksha and Brahmasaban Diksha. So let us conclude here for today. You can ask anything if you want to tomorrow, and then we'll go on.